If you show up and say, oh, hey, by the way, I've been addicted to porn since I was 8. You again.
Oh, man. Brothers, we're back at it. We're back at it again today here. Another episode of the Porn to Purpose podcast. Your hosts, Matthew Sinkovitz, my esteemed colleague, Yeadon Smith.
What's up, podcast land? Good to see y'all.
Good to have you here again, brother. Brothers, thanks for joining us. We got a good one here lined up for you today. We got one that I know I dealt with. Maybe Yeadon's dealt with it.
100%.
Yeah. If you guys are in a relationship or have been in a relationship at any point during your journey with porn, likely you've dealt with it yourself. I know I hear a lot about it in the recovery communities that I'm part of, and that is, and we've kind of touched on this a little bit in the past, like sharing with a wife, right? But we're going to dig into the conversation a little bit deeper of, should you tell her, right? What do you do if you've been hiding your porn habit? Now, this could be whether you're married or not married, maybe in a relationship of some sort, long-term, short-term, but maybe you're in a relationship, whether it's married or not, and there's enough of a relationship established where you recognize there is some accountability, and there's potential for your relationship with porn to begin having an impact on your relationship with your significant other, one way or the other. Right?
This is a tough conversation. Just spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Get ready. This is where the rubber meets the road.
That's it. And what I'd love to get to right out of the gate is, you know what? There's really no cut and dry answer here. You know, I think it's case by case situation. I've seen it go everywhere from I'm just going to generally share, hey, this is something that's been going on for me, I'm getting some help with it, to therapeutic disclosure, where you're sitting down with your wife and a therapist and you're outlining the complete detailed history of your entire sexual life and relationship with porn. So and I think no matter what, approaching this in a measured fashion is important, you know?
Yeah.
And we're going to dig into.
I would say this is a conversation that, whatever it looks like, probably needs to happen.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, the depth of the conversation, the level of detail in the conversation, I'm not going to tell you what to say.
Yep.
You know, that's not what we're here for.
Yep.
But having kind of a clean slate where the point of the conversation is so that you're not hiding anymore. Because shame thrives in the darkness.
That's it.
When we hide it, it grows. When we bring it to the light, it dies.
Yeah. It's like it festers in there, right?
Yeah.
So number one, guys, to set this whole conversation up, I think it's very important, is really getting clear for yourself. Like, why are you sharing? Asking yourself, why am I sharing? You know, is it about doing the right thing? Right? It's because, hey, this is something that I need to do. Right? This is for the health and the sake of my relationship. I've got a strong conviction around this. Or is it because I just need to feel better? Right?
Yeah.
Is it because I need to bring my relationship back into integrity here and clean some things up? Or is it because I need to get relief? You know, I've got to dump some guilt. You know, I need to create some emotional cleanliness.
Yeah.
Right? Or maybe because you got caught somehow. Right? And now you got to bring it to the table. That's that.
Now
that
it's on the table and you have to talk about it.
Yeah. On the other side of it, Yeadon gave a beautiful testimony in our last episode, and Yeadon, you referenced sitting in that. I think it was a real estate seminar, and the guy's last name was Rude.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he said, "My wife and I tell each other everything. We don't keep any secrets."
I knew what he was talking about, even though he didn't say it.
Right.
I could read between the lines. I'm like, oh, he's talking to me right now, and I have not told my wife everything.
Right. So I don't know, like for me, I've got this, especially in my close, intimate relationships, whether they're physical or non-physical, romantic or non. Sometimes for me, there's just parts of me, like I feel like if I feel like I'm hiding, then for me, it's really important to take a look at that. And I think it requires discretion and discernment. But is this something that I need to share? Is this relevant to the health of the relationship, to the quality of the relationship?
Yeah, I remember I was talking with a friend of mine a couple years ago. We've known each other for over 10 years. We were in Rotary Club together, good friend. And he was sharing with me his conversation with his wife about stuff like this, or the process that he went through. I was still stuck in my addiction. I hadn't found recovery yet. We were talking about marriage relationships, and he was going through some big stuff in his marriage. And I remember him telling me he talked with his therapist. He said, and his therapist said, "Why are you going to tell your wife this?
Yep.
If you're telling her because you need to feel forgiven and you need to you need your conscience clean.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
Or are you bringing it to her because she doesn't know the full you?
Yeah.
She doesn't have access to every part of your life.
Yep.
They're two different reasons.
Yep.
And I would offer, you got to have the right reason.
Yep.
If you make it all about yourself, if I make it all about me, then probably not going to get the outcome that you're hoping for in the conversation. It's going to be way more painful, and if anything, cause more problems.
Yep.
Versus, hey, I've been hiding this and haven't been fully transparent with what's going on in my life with you.
Yep. And you know what, Yeadon? That leads us beautifully to my next point. Next piece of this puzzle. And that is really bringing this to your communities, your places of counsel and support ahead of time. So do your work ahead of time. Is the second I want, is the idea I want to offer to you. So whether that be checking it in with your community, checking it in with a counselor, with a therapist, with a mentor, someone you trust, a pastor, if you've got that sort of person in your life, a good friend, an accountability partner, and get some feedback and some reflection from someone you trust. Now, I would say don't bring it to your friend that is always joking about porn and thinks porn's just a normal, everybody does it. There's that guy, because he'll normalize the heck out of it. But someone that is wise, discerning, and a good place of advice and counsel in your life, right? Someone you esteem, and ask them for their input, for their guidance, for their perspective on how and what to share and how much to share.
Yeah.
I think that perspective can be really helpful. Hey, here's where I'm at. Here's what's going on. This might tie into what we talked about on one of our recent episodes. And that's just like telling a friend, let somebody in your life know you've got an issue, you got something going on. Maybe you're already in therapist, or maybe you're lucky enough to already have a community or someone you're already in dialogue with around this, but maybe you haven't spoken with anybody. Identify someone you can trust and get the perspective on how much detail is wise, how much does she actually need to know, And I think probably most importantly is that if you do choose to bring this to her, to tee it up in a way such that you're taking full responsibility for what's going on. You're not pointing blame. You're not playing the victim. You're not pointing at everyone else. And you're certainly ready to do the work around it and bring a solution, ideally.
Yeah. Yeah. Coming into this conversation with a strategic plan.
Yeah.
You can't wing this conversation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just like you're just backing up a giant dump truck and just whoomp.
Yeah.
Right? That's not a productive conversation.
Yep.
Have a strategy, have a game plan. How does the conversation, what do you need to share that's authentic and vulnerable and transparent? But not just dumping your problems on your partner.
Right.
What else, man?
And so that's my second piece is guys, you know, if you're going to share, do your work ahead of time, get some counsel on it, right? And bring the healthiest, most mature, most responsible perspective, right? Do your work, do your homework ahead of time, which kind of brings us to our third point. And I'd love to invite you to speak on this one, Yeadon, is actually bringing her a solution, not a problem.
You know, this reminds me, this situation reminds me of times where my children walk into the room. Dad, I can't find my water bottle. I'm like, well, have you even looked for it yet? Well, I left it right here and it's not there. Okay, so no, you haven't looked yet. Well, where did we go last? Well, we went to go play tennis. Have you checked the car? No. Maybe you took it up to your room. Have looked at my room. Did you check over here? And like, they haven't done anything.
Yeah.
And now it's on me to do all of the mental work where it's like, okay, let's retrace your steps. Where do you remember holding it? I remember I had it at the summer camp when you picked me up. It's like, okay, let's go check the car. That's the last place you remember holding it in your hands. Not in the car. Where'd you go when you got home? Well, I went up to my room. Let's go check. Oh, look at that. There it is right there on your desk in your room. Yep. Imagine that.
Yep.
When we come to our spouse, when we come to our partner, and all we have is, hey, FYI, I have a porn problem.
Yep.
I use porn.
Yep.
It's like you're the teenager running to mom saying, Mom, where are my jeans?
Right.
Where's my water bottle? Where's my tennis racket? When we have that attitude, it's like we're just dumping the entire problem on our spouse.
Yep.
And they feel like, oh my gosh, now I got to come up with one more problem I got to fix in my life.
Yep.
It's like in some dad circles I'm in where we're trying to be better dads, we talk a lot about the mental load. And I was guilty of this for most of my marriage. Standing around, asking her, like, what can I do to help?
Yep.
And my wife is thinking, do your eyes not work? How many times have you walked past the pile of laundry sitting on the stairs?
Right.
You're standing in the kitchen and the dishes, the sink is full of dirty dishes. The trash is overflowing. Right? And now I've learned the question I ask now is when I'm talking with my wife is like, hey, babe, I know this, and this needs to be done. Is there something else that I haven't thought of or that would be more valuable for me to do right now? Because then I'm not just dumping more mental load on my spouse.
Right.
I'm sharing like, hey, I recognize these things need to be done. I'm not 5. I can tie my own shoes successfully and get in the car on time.
Yep.
Is there something that I haven't noticed that would be more valuable for me to work on right now?
Yep.
From a what can I do to help question.
Yep. Yep.
Totally change the game. It's the same thing with sharing with your spouse about porn use, porn struggles, porn addiction. We got to come to this conversation with a lot of thought and a lot of peace and power, peace and power, right? Strength and stability.
Yes.
We're not just trying to dump this 500-pound weight on her shoulders.
Yep.
So I'll share part of my experience in having this conversation with my spouse, which I had this conversation with my spouse. I mean, aside from the times where I've been caught and I just made the empty promises that everybody makes, like, oh, all the good intentions, I'll do better. I won't use it anymore. All that stuff. It never stuck. Once I joined the Liberation Bootcamp, I really started to get traction and my recovery started to take hold. And I was like, oh, this is going to work. All I have to do now is stay on this recovery path.
Yep.
And so after several months in the boot camp doing the work on myself, where I knew I now have the tools to actually deal with this, instead of just, okay, let's see how long I can white knuckle it and avoid it this time for the next 100 days, see if I can make it 100 days without using porn.
Yep.
So I was able to bring to the conversation her, like, hey, babe, you know this has been an issue in my life. I wanted to let you know this is what I have been doing to deal with it.
Yep.
This is what I'm doing about it now.
Yep.
I've joined this program. I'm really digging into why this is an issue for me. I'm starting to understand where it came from. I'm getting tools and resources to deal with the emotional pain in a healthy way so I don't reach out to the pain pill of porn anymore.
Yep.
And I started showing up differently. One, sex is way better. Let me just say, for all you guys wondering out there, I can tell you it's better.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Categorically. But also I started to show up better in other areas, emotionally, being present with my kids, not being so explosive with my anger, because I was able to use the same tools for my recovery. When I would feel the pull, the urge to use porn, the same pull to explode, to rage, be the scary, angry dad, I was able to use those same tools in my daily interactions with my family.
Yep.
And my whole family knows. Saturdays, I have a recovery call. Wednesday, I have a midweek check-in. They know I'm in recovery. Yep. They know that I am on the path, working on myself so that I really can go from porn to purpose. Ah, there it is.
Oh, once again.
Right? So when you have this conversation, it is incredibly helpful to have a plan, approach the conversation with peace and power, with strength and stability, and without shame. It's like, I realize now why I used porn. And it, right, if you're listening to this, you probably told yourself the same thing I told myself. Same thing Matt told himself. This doesn't have anything to do with my wife.
Right.
My wife is, I love my wife. She's beautiful. She's fantastic. The porn had to do with my own pain. It didn't have anything to do with sex or attraction or attractiveness.
Yeah.
It had to do with me not knowing how to navigate my own pain. And the only coping mechanism I knew was porn.
Yep.
Even having that language around porn, because our culture, right? It's like you got either on one side or the other. Porn, no big deal. Everybody does it. It's fine. It's normal. Then you got on the other side. It's like, oh, porn is a sin and you're going to hell.
Yep.
Generally, people fall into one of those two camps.
Mm-hmm.
And if your spouse is, it doesn't matter what side your spouse is on, whether she's like, oh, porn's not a big deal. I don't care. Your wife may not care that you use porn. Your wife may be on the other side of the corner. It's like, oh my God, porn is a sin. And if you use it again, I'm divorcing you. That level of threat.
Yep.
being able to talk about porn as a coping mechanism that you've been using is incredibly helpful in this. It was, I don't want to say it will be incredibly helpful for you, because honestly, I don't know. Every situation is going to be a little different. It was incredibly valuable for me to understand this language and bring that vocabulary to the conversation where, hey, I realized that porn is not good, evil, immoral. It's a sin. It is all of those things. But those words didn't help. Understanding it as a coping mechanism, it's like, oh, I can cope with things differently. I was never able to avoid sinning.
Yeah.
I sin all the time. Anger, frustration, right? Whatever the 7 deadly sins are, you know, I get those boxes checked by 6 a.m. most days, right? Just breathing. But talking about it as a coping mechanism and being able to share, hey, these are new coping mechanisms that I'm building in my life so that I don't need to reach for the pain pill of porn anymore. Whether you join a community like the Liberation Bootcamp, whether you're talking with a therapist, whether you're in an accountability program somewhere, being able to bring what you are doing about it to your spouse is a critical piece of this conversation. If you show up and say, oh, hey, by the way, I've been addicted to porn since I was 8. Conversations, you're going to crash and burn, dude. It's going to explode in your face. You show up with, hey, here's a part of my life that I haven't been completely transparent about. And here's what I'm doing to work on it, to work on myself. Those are 2 very different conversations.
Yes.
Now, what disclaimer, y'all, we're not therapists. We're not licensed counselors. We're not any of that stuff. So don't just listen to a podcast like, oh, Yeadon and Matt said I need to talk to my wife about my porn addiction. And when I get home today, I'm going to unload everything on her. It's like, bro, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be dumb. Be smart about this. Talk with people you trust, like what Matt said. Talk with your pastor. Talk with your accountability partner. Talk with people that you trust who are going to be able to help you prepare for this conversation so you can approach it with grace and peace and strength instead of guilt, fear, and shame. Well, you're probably going to have fear no matter what. I know I did.
Yeah. And probably some shame,
probably a little bit of those.
Anything like that.
But I'm not trying to just unload my guilt and my shame. I'm sharing, hey, there is shame about this. There is guilt about this. But here's what I am doing to work on myself. This is not your problem to fix. This is my problem. And I am working on it with intention and with strength and commitment. So, man, brother, father, son, husband out there listening. If this sounds like you, if you're struggling, if you want more support around recovery from porn, if you're ready to get this stuff figured out and ready to move forward with your life and you're looking for support, well, man, you already found the podcast. You're already listening. Check us out over at porntopurpose.com. Get on a call with us. Let's talk more. How can we support you in this journey? You're not alone. Reminds me of the book, Every Man's Battle, that I read 30 years ago. This is common to men. We want you to have freedom. We want you to move from porn to purpose. Thanks for listening. And we will catch you on the next episode. In the meantime and in between time, peace and power.
Thank you, brothers.
We are noble men.
We are noble men. Bye-bye.